What is good, everyone? It's Zigzag here. Welcome back to another Geoguessr video. We are back on the road to #1 player in the world without moving on Geoguessr Duels. So all of our opponents will be moving around and collecting clues. Meanwhile, we stand still and try and make it all the way to the top of the leaderboards. So in last episode, we had massive gains. We're up to 249 in the world now. I think it's out of like 3 million or something like that. So I would say it's a pretty good effort, although a lot of the accounts are, of course, inactive and whatnot. But we're sitting at 1,216. So I'd love to break into the top 200 today. That would mean getting a few good wins, and I feel like now is the point at which this series gets really difficult. As soon as we take a loss to an 800 rated player, we take a massive tanking in rating. So let's hope we get some good and decent opponents today. It's basically my first games of the day as well, so let's see how they run for us, and let's get it. Also, if you could give the video a like at this point, that would be really nice. It helps me out in the algorithm, helps YouTube recommend it to more people, and as I said, we've got one of these 800 rated players that we really cannot afford to lose to, so let's see if we are able to pull the W on the first one today. And it looks like a fairly standard Brazil. I would say these palms kind of feel like Maranhão palms, if I had to say anything, so I'll probably go for that, although I could easily see this being quite wrong as well. It is Brazil, so we can at least be confident about that with the Brazilian poles here. And I would say an 800 rated player probably knows that. Yeah, the Brazilian poles are pretty common knowledge these days, so we'll just have to find out. It is a Maranhão palm, so happy with that. You do get similar ones like in the Mato Grossos, but they look a little bit different, so that's a really ideal way to start the video there. And are we back in Brazil? We may be here, or this could actually just be Colombia as well. Yellow, white painted pole at the bottom. We have a white number plate here, so maybe it's actually Ecuador or Mexico. This plate probably feels more Ecuadorian, I would say. But okay, now I'm looking for like a... Yeah, one of these meters would probably look different in Mexico, I would say. Yeah, these would look different, these power meters in Mexico. So I would say this is going to be somewhere in Ecuador. Quito probably makes a lot of sense, or southern, but I'll just go for Quito here, and it ends up being in Santo Domingo instead. So a good guess from our opponent there, actually. Well done to them, and we take them to exactly half health. So 3,000 points. Oh, I like to see this. Probably New Zealand. Yeah, it is New Zealand. I would say Auckland, actually. Yeah, with this kind of thing, we can normally check on the bins a lot of the time. It says South Tanarang, or something like that. I think that's probably just going to be somewhere in Auckland, but I'll click the south if we see southern there. It's probably somewhere near Auckland if it's not there. I could see probably anywhere on the North Island being quite possible here, and it ends up being, yeah, in this town here. So not even a big clue on the bin there. I kind of expected it to be more useful, but once again, we're closest, so we can still flawless our opponent here. And here we have some Mongolian action. Feels like a big city, so I'd say it's just Ulaanbaatar. You do get this car in Ulaanbaatar as well, so let's just put the pressure on. Maybe northern suburbs here somewhere. He guesses as well. It is northern suburbs of Ulaanbaatar. Kind of feels like a bit depressing out in the northern suburbs, especially in the winter coverage. But okay, he makes it to the healing round. Obviously, we just insta-guess here. We've not taken a single point of damage, so let's just go do that. There we go, our guess is in about as soon as possible, and so now he has a good amount of time to get this probably... where is this? This round is actually not so easy, which is good for us. I would say it's probably just Colombia or Ecuador, and with all the white number plates, should just be Ecuador, and he misses it, which is really great for us. He's only going to heal up 70 points of damage, so that's actually a perfect result, really. And we move on to the first round of the game that really matters here. Somewhere in the United States, we have a flag right there. We've got a New York plate there as well, so thinking somewhere northeast. We're also lacking a few front plates, so I would just say somewhere in Pennsylvania could make a lot of sense here, unless that plate is lying and we are just somewhere completely different. It's hard to say here. Those highways and signs are not the Pennsylvanian ones, so I might just go Virginia instead. Let's just go Virginia. I want to put the pressure on here. I don't want him to find any sign, even though I'm still unsure of where this should be. But yeah, with this number plate here, surely we're not that far away. You know what? That's actually not a New York plate, so hopefully... Oh, it's probably Michigan. It could be Michigan here with this double number plate. Yeah, with the double signpost. So a good guess from him. He goes in Ohio, so a good amount of damage there. Man, if I had have been more perceptive and realized that that wasn't a New York plate, I think I could have got a much better guess. I just tunnel visioned a bit there. Okay, next one here is also kind of difficult. Probably Denmark, I would say, with this architecture. Could still be Netherlands as well. But maybe that feels more Danish to me. I want to say it does. I'm actually not too sure. Maybe I'll go for a bit of an ocean hedge here. No, I'm going to go all the way south in Denmark here. But I wonder what our opponent can actually find here by traveling along. I mean, I doubt this feels pretty rural. and it is actually Denmark, all the way close to Sweden there. He goes in Ireland, which actually was my very first thought, but fortunately we take him out this time, and we take 4 points only off our opponent there, which, I mean, what will it move us up to? That's at least worth checking after each game here. So that moves us up to 237, so that's a good result. Oh, just behind Trichter and Eamon here, very good players, friends of mine. And I say we hit it back here. Always click the duel button once at the moment. There's a glitch. If you click it twice, you can accidentally get put in 2 games, which obviously you lose one of them just by default. So obviously we can't afford to do that. This is probably Portugal based on those polls. Yeah, this is Portugal. I would say it's fairly far north. Kind of feels a bit like wet in a way. So I'm just going to go here. I feel like this is a reasonable guess. So we have a Portuguese hunting sign here, which both of them actually. One of them's like an Austrian, like something flag, and the other one's like this diamond. And yeah, we're very close. It is just all the way north in Portugal. And that is the great thing about putting the pressure on. 2,400 points of damage off bat there. A really nice start. And could we be running it back here? No, this is northern South Africa, surely, with this poll. Or Eswatini. Oh, no, not at all. Wow, just a similar poll. This one's going to be somewhere in Curacao. Presumably our opponent knows the Google car, but I'll just click in the middle of the island there. But yeah, this is the Google car for Curacao, the black car with the roof racks. And you see really tall cacti in Curacao really often. But I thought this was going to be somewhere in like just above, like in this kind of area near Eswatini in South Africa. Similar kind of pole, and our opponent does not know the pole, which means we're going to basically 2-round him, which is the fastest way you can possibly win in Geoguessr. And how much are we going to take off? Another 4 points. So really not too bad at all. I mean, that would probably move us up to like something like 220. So let's see if we can play against a higher rated opponent here. That would really be ideal. Okay, this is a bit better. Nearly 1,000 rated player with J. Cole's profile picture. Let's see. Judging by the name, probably somewhere from someone from like Norway or something like that. First one is in Europe. We got white plates, so it shouldn't be Netherlands, even though it kind of looks a bit like that. So maybe Belgium, maybe Denmark. Could see Denmark here, probably more likely. Black back of the sign is very interesting, actually. So is it actually? We can't see any front plates here. We do see a front plate. It's not an Italian one. Black back of the sign. Yeah, not too sure. What to make of this round. It's quite flat though. I feel like maybe this is all blue signs there as well. I actually don't know where this is. Oh, we see 1 Volvo, 2 Volvos. Maybe this is Sweden. Can still be Sweden. Maybe I don't mind Sweden here. This is a weird round. I feel like I'll just go all the way southern tip Sweden here. This could easily just be Belgium as well, like right against the coast or something like that. I'm not too sure. Just nothing in the way of signage. Like it's just a pretty like crappy round in terms of what we need. But hopefully I'm not too far away. I mean, yeah, I just can't see anything that really gives me the country here. It's just a difficult round. Ends up being in Hamburg there, but our opponent does not guess, which is basically the best possible outcome there, because they could have actually done 1,000 points of damage. Downtown Hamburg. Why didn't I think of Germany? I don't know, but the 2 Volvos really made me lean Sweden. Anyway, here's the next one. Looks like Argentina or something like that. Buenos Aires would make sense here. Could also, if we don't see any Argentinian number plates, just be Montevideo. I would say it is. If we don't see any Argentinian number plates, and it looks like Buenos Aires, then Montevideo seems like a really good shout. I think this taxi probably reminds me more of there as well. But yeah, like a lot of winter coverage in Montevideo. Like it comes up on the world map a whole lot, and you just lack in any trees on any leaves on the trees. So we should be correct here. And yeah, our opponent has not guessed again. So another really quick victory here. So we should be getting close now. That wasn't even 1,000 rated player, so maybe 6 points or 5 points here. Yeah, we gained 6. So what is that going to take us to? Now we got to check, guys. Have we broken in? Oh, so close. I think it's one more win. One more win against anyone strong here, and we'll pass up Arsman, and we'll make our way into the top 200, I hope. So, wow, this has been a really good video so far. Not too close or anything like that. Last time, we had all kinds of, like, really close games. But this one's a bit different. This one's a bit different. Bit of a few rolls against some lower-rated players, and now we find out whether a higher-rated win is going to be possible here. Okay, something unexpected happened. If we lost points to this, I'm going to be quite annoyed, but let's find out, I guess. And we did not lose any points. That is extremely good news. Let's refresh the page. Hopefully, yeah, it seems like we didn't lose any points. That's fantastic. Let's click it again here. Wow, I would have been so mad if we lost more points to that. This time it looks like it's actually working, and we are facing against Moritz Denk. Is Moritz... That's a familiar name. I feel like he might have been in the comments section or something at some point. But okay, Moritz, probably German or something like that. Let's see if we can take the W here. This feels like fairly southern in Senegal with these French bollards. I don't know. I'm just going to click in the Gambia here. We're going to have to get the right country, and I feel like it is somewhere around this kind of area. So I hope it's not too far away. Realistically, this can be quite a bit further north, but with this much greenery, southern makes sense. Could even be all the way out here. I don't really know. Like my Senegal skills are not really that good. Anyway, ends up being ends up being southern there, and our friend Moritz does not guess. So this is probably going to be our free ticket into the top 2,000. I kind of feel bad for Moritz, but you just have to take what you can get, especially on a series like this. And this one is probably in his homeland, maybe even. They probably look more like Swedish signs, actually. And yeah, we got yellow filled in signs as well. Would expect this is not too far from like Gothenburg or Sweden or something, or Stockholm or something like that. I'm going to go opt for Gothenburg here, just because I can see some hilliness maybe in the background or some rockiness here. Actually, probably bad logic because we can't really see too much at all. But yeah, let's hope we are not too far away here and we can get the knockout. But it seems like Moritz is not there. Kind of feels bad. I would have loved to have... Oh, Helsinki. I feel bad for knocking him out on that. But this is going to be our free ticket to the top 200, so we've actually done it. Wow. There we go. 13 points. That should be well enough, shouldn't it? We're going to climb all the way to... No, we did lose points. Oh, well, you know, everything's equal. Everything's equal then. We did lose points. I hate this, bro. Do not ever let me click the button if you're not going to give me the points. But hey, that's actually good. I didn't want to get to the top 200 based on, like, a free win anyway. So, let's just head back into here. I'm actually worried about clicking the play again button now, bro. Like, they really need to fix that. It's not a good glitch. But okay, here we can get it legitimately here. That's what we need to do. Let's run this thing. It should be somewhere in Croatia. I want to go quickly here. We've actually got language, though. Doesn't feel particularly Croatian. Could this be still elsewhere? I would expect that type of sign to be yellow in Croatia. But maybe this is just near Italy, because some of the language looks a little bit Italian. So I'm going to go all the way up here. Put the pressure on. Let's actually see what this says, because presumably they've gone on to read it. And it ends up being in Montenegro, which makes a lot more sense, actually. So a pretty bad guess from me there. 700 points taken off. Yeah. I don't know, I didn't really feel like a Montenegrin sign either, that's the thing, but whatever, that's fine, it's before the Maltese, which is good. This feels like maybe Denmark. Yeah, probably Denmark here. I'm gonna go quickly near Copenhagen. It's the world map, so I may as well go near the capital city. Actually, the hilliness probably would lend me more towards the mainland here, but we shouldn't be too much further away. And the good thing about going so quickly is we do have the potential to be taking away points here. Yeah, it ends up being near Aalborg there, so that definitely makes more sense to me than where I guessed, and we are punished accordingly with 24 points. Next one here, though, should be somewhere in northern Nigeria, I would say. Probably near Abuja, in all honesty. Oh, is this just India? Hold up, yeah, we're left-hand driving, I think. This is just India. And in which case, yeah, yellow play here. That makes much more sense for India as well. Pole is pretty generic. Okay, yeah, but pole makes more sense as well. So let's not guess there. I think all the coverage is still in Delhi, so let's test that theory. And it ends up being Delhi indeed. Unfortunately, our friend here does not know that all the coverage in India so far on the world map, we're only looking world map here, which is the crappy map, is in Delhi, I think. So that was why I went there. This one, we've got like a double pole here, do we know? In which case, probably just Slovenia. Yeah, what have we got? Town name here. Kumnik is nearby. Okay, Kumnik, I know it's just north here, so let's just guess there. It ends up being really close. Ljubljana Hedge is going to be just good enough, but yeah, luckily I knew Kumnik. Actually, a guy I stayed with in Slovenia grew up in Kumnik, so shout-outs to that family. But okay, next one here, we're on the healing round. We can actually use this healing round to get a little bit further up here. And I would say it's like Finland or something like that, right? 5 strikes on the pole there is interesting. Black and white painted as well. I would say this is Finland. It looks like a bilingual sign there, as the ones I've described here that you often see on the coast, so this should be a good enough guess. Ends up being all the way over there near Russia, though, so I wonder what was with that sign. Doesn't matter, we're back up to 6,000 health here, so we move into 1.5 times damage on this game that could get us into the top 200. So let's see what ends up happening. 1.5 times. Yeah, probably Netherlands here, but probably Denmark here in a similar location to the last one, I would say. That's what I'm going for. So yeah, this kind of rolling landscape. I would say this island, the Copenhagen island, is probably a bit more flat. And the poles definitely fit here. Metal poles make more sense. And wow, it was France. I was pretty sure I was correct. Architecturally speaking, everything made sense. Fortunately, he doesn't make it to any language or anything like that, which is just a real lifesaver there. We probably would have lost like 4,000 points, or about that much. Anyway, next one's just a clear southern Portugal, so I'm going to go quickly here. It's dry. We've got a lot of these trees that you see in Spain as well, but this sign here is particularly well, I thought it was particularly Portuguese. Yeah, it is. Good, good, good. I don't really know. Like you just play enough and then you just have the vibe, you know. That's 100 points damage, so really nothing in it just yet. Good guess from our opponent. That's 2.5 times damage on Russia, maybe? Or what is it? Is it not Russia at all, but I don't know where. Short number plates here. Is it Australia? Is this like say this is actually Australia, right? Or is it New Zealand? I actually can't work it out. These trees kind of feel New Zealand. Garden Center. Cannot work this out. Can we even move? Oh, I did not mean to move. I'm so sorry. I was just thinking about whether our opponent could or not. But yeah, okay, let's take a careful inspect here. I feel like this is New Zealand, though. Can't work it out. That looks like a very Australian sign. I think this is just somewhere near Auckland, bro, but... Okay, that we don't have in Australia. I don't recognize that, surely. Auckland it is. Let's hope our opponent didn't find anything massive here. The game might end here. We might just lose it. But I think these are New Zealand plates. If not, it's probably like Queensland or somewhere I haven't been in Australia. And it is Auckland. What a clutch guess. I'm so sorry for moving there. Again, a bit of a dirty way to win, maybe. But I don't think it really changed much. I think I was going to go New Zealand there anyway. I would like to say that. Sorry if you're offended by that, but yeah, it was really an accident. So let's see what that brings us to. It should bring us solidly into the top 200 here. 179 or above Armani here. We're creeping up to Giovanni. What a fantastic result there. And we are going to keep going, obviously, so because we're pushing to number 1, not 200. So let's see if we can pull another win here. Obviously, we haven't lost a single game here yet today. Only the one that was kind of illegitimate. But we also had an illegitimate gain as well. So now we're against John Dick, and he is a 900 rated player. So we put the pressure on here. This is probably Winnipeg with these Manitoba plates. This is exactly the type of round we like to see. Some niche knowledge that a 900 probably doesn't know and that we can immediately guess with. And so, yeah, Manitoba plates. If John Dick is from North America, which if he's playing at this time of day is unlikely, then he'll know it, otherwise he will not. And that's exactly what we wanted to see. 5,000 points damage on round 1 there. Winnipeg is the only place like this that looks like that in Manitoba, I think. So it made perfect sense. The next one might be Russia, so we can maybe end it in 2 rounds here. Although I'm thinking it's not. I'm thinking this is maybe... Could this be Lithuania with a long antenna? I think Lithuania occasionally does, but maybe it is just Russia. I'm thinking of just guessing, like, Russia near Lithuania, but look at these... Yeah, but these are, like, Orthodox churches. Okay, instead, I might go St. Petersburg. Let's try that. I mean, I just want to put the pressure on here. I doubt this is going to be the type of round where we take a whole lot of damage, because it feels quite European. Is that... No, that's not... That is the... This is going to be, like, near Vilnius, I think. We can still knock him out round 1 here, but we'll see if we found the blue strips on the plates. And, whoa, it's Estonia. Okay. Yeah, so I think the Estonia has the attached neck then. That's why I couldn't figure it out. Doesn't matter anyway. Bad guess, but for reasons to do with the pedestrian crossing sign here. In the Russia, he would have a detached and alien-shaped looking head. Whereas in Estonia, he's got the neck. I think in Lithuania, he doesn't have the neck. But regardless, we move up again here. Let's do another one. Ooh, a good video so far, guys. A good video. I really am so annoyed that I made that little step, but I tend to think that it doesn't really matter. I'm sure you guys can forgive me. Okay, Groob, aka Chewbacca, is our next opponent here, and the first round is not entirely easy, so let's take a look around. Would say that's a Bulgarian pole. Everything seems to fit well enough for Bulgaria. We have like the round poles that you often see there. So I'm just going to guess in the north section of the country. We have slight hills to the north, so that would fit for certain places, but I'm just going to go north of Sofia here. Now, could we see these poles elsewhere? Yes. I could definitely see Romania here still being a solid option, especially with its architecture, or we might be way further north. Also possible. And we are. Yeah, Austria. So, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I was not really thinking too hard there. That was probably too cold climate, especially kind of that tree that we had on the right of the screen just as the round ended for Bulgaria. Fortunately, it's round 1. We can gain that all back soon, as long as we guess decently here. South Ealing. Eating. Eating is... I know Eating. It's somewhere around here, right? But maybe I don't know it. I really thought it was not too far from this kind of area of the country. Well, I'm going to go and chat anyway. Hopefully my memory is serving me at least somewhat correctly here. And maybe it's just part of London as well, but I swear I knew the town Eating because it's a funny name. We'll see. I didn't see it. Yeah, it's just London. So another kind of poor guess. I guess it was like a London double-decker bus right in the background, so kind of makes sense. So hold your comments. I really should have gotten that correct. But anyway, next one here is looking like the type of round where we could do some damage or lose some damage. We got concrete poles. Blue strip, maybe? Yeah, blue strip. Ooh, it's hard, it's hard, it's hard. Ocean is north. Do we have a blue strip there, but is that, what kind of pole is that, man? We got big mountains to the north, to the south there as well. Ooh, I don't like this round, man. This could be Portugal, it could be Greece, you know? We could hedge between, but don't particularly love that either. Man, I would love to see these number plates. Okay, generation 2, think. That pole, it's round. So I don't... What am I actually thinking here? It's not really Spanish seeming. I think I have to hedge it. Just not sure where to go. I'll just go on... This is not correct, but we'll go for it. It ends up being Palmero. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. For some reason, because I couldn't see the number plates properly, I just wasn't quite sure about Italy. Makes a lot of sense in hindsight. That's a fine result. Look, considering I didn't know clicking in the center was safe to do anyway, and hey, we're going to make it to the healing round based on this round anyway, so that's good. It should be Gaborone. Could it be Francistown? Yes. Don't really feel the need to put the pressure on here, but I think I'll just go Gaborone because it's most likely anyway on the world map. But it should be Francistown if it's not. Actually, apparently the striped poles are not as common in Francistown at all. So I think it is Gaborone here, judging by the kind of built-up nature of the town and how many, like, nice looking houses there are, especially by Botswanan standards. And it was Francistown. There we go. So fake meta. He goes Gaborone as well. We can get the exact same score. Okay, so moving on to the healing round here. This is kind of important that it's an easy round for us. And it looks like it won't be too hard somewhere in Europe, so that's good. We read this here, .dk, perfect. Obviously, he's going straight away at 6,000 health here. He was nice enough to leave it for a few seconds, but this time I think we just go Copenhagen and take our points. And it ends up being, yeah, in just in Finn there. So we're going to take 1,000 points of healing there, which is great. Okay, so really, I still back myself to win this, even though we kind of played it badly so far. Now is where we put the foot on the gas and, yeah, take the win. So this one should be, out of the 2 possible cities, it should be in Santiago de los Caballeros, and that is because we have a grey painted bottom of the pole here. You would normally see different colours in Santo Domingo. It's not 100% working, but generally speaking, when you see it like that, it should be over there, and wow, we are super close, and he is super fast, so is that enough? It is enough. Wow, he played so well. He was actually outplaying me up to that point, just did not recognise the Google card, did not... I mean, I knew it was DR before, even I looked at the Google card, but unfortunately he did not. And what does that move us to now? 1252. We are really moving up here. 166. I say we do one more for the video. Really hoping this is not a loss. But yeah, super happy with this video, man. We'll see who we face. I hope it's high rating. I always hope for high rating because you can always just lose against an 800 rated player on some Trekker or something like that. So we really want high rating players, and we do not get that. And 800 is what we face. Oh, and this is a hard round. This could be Asia. This could be South America. Could be North America. We'll see what we're faced with. Immediately then, we got the Latin American antenna here. I think actually Mexico over Brazil, if I'm honest. Yeah, I'm gonna go Mexico here, just somewhere around like Veracruz, Chiapas kind of area. Sun is definitely cloudy, so this could be still a number of places. It is Colombia, which is probably my second option. Unfortunately, just putting the pressure on there, couldn't let our opponent Eric figure out where it was, so that's really good. He's not able to get to any signs, which is great. Next one, we're back in Mexico, I think, or this time we're actually in Mexico. I would assume yellowish plate there. I mean, pole tops seem Mexican, I would have thought. Yeah, so... But this is a bit further north. I'm not sure how far north, but I'm going to go Sinaloa here. It's kind of a hedge. I want to discover more here, because I could still be wrong about the country here. That plate surely is distinctive. It should be a Mexican plate. This pole feels Mexican as well. Ends up being all the way in Chiapas there. So, again, not a great guess. Did not get the vibes right, but it's really difficult when you're urban Mexico, I think, unless you identify a plate. And the next one here, maybe Chile? Maybe Chile. No, we are actually in DR again. And this time, we can't really see the bottoms of the poles. I actually may lean Santiago de los Caballeros again. It's quite mountainous. Yeah, I'm going to go for that. Not really sure here. I mean, let's take a look what the painted on the pole is here, because normally they are painted in some color. This one's not painted at all, but normally you do have square poles. Generally speaking, you get a whole combination, but generally speaking square. And this one was, again, Santiago de los Caballeros, and a decent guess in Curacao. It's going to keep Eric in the game. But maybe we can get the flawless here, especially if this is Australia, although I think it might be South Africa instead, though. Not an easy round, though. Look at that, a wooden pole. Is this actually Australia? I would have thought this is South Africa with the amount of rubbish on the side of the road here, but it still easily can be Australia, of course. A lot of palms, a lot of cows. This is confusing, man. I mean, you just don't see that much rubbish in Australia that often, if we're honest. Oh, the houses do not have walls around them, though, so maybe I am actually tempted for something like a Queensland here. Well, let's do it. I mean, we can't die. We can't die, which is a great thing. And yeah, here we have the blue generation forecast. Should be correct here. Wow. I mean, you can't always rely on those stereotypes. Sometimes, and by what, Sydney? Wow. Was really thinking Queensland there with that amount of palms. So a good guess from Eric, and he's going to survive to the healing round here. But just goes to show you can't always rely on those generalizations. They don't always work. That was a lot of rubbish. So there we go. Here we are in Mexico once again. It's been the theme of the seed. And this one, well, obviously, we'll let Eric have some time. Why not? He's a 800 rated player. We'll let him have some time. See if we can identify any number plates here. Don't think we can. But we've got a bit of blue. So I thought of Puebla here, and let's just go downtown Puebla if it's there. Ends up being in Jalisco here, or Jalisco. So we're gonna heal basically to full health, and so is our opponent. Okay, or to half health. Okay, next one here. He is happy with that, and we move on to what looks to be a Japan. Japan's difficult, you know. Blue roofs here. You know, not really too sure what I think of this one. It should be someone Honshu, I think. But I think a Nagoya hedge is in order here. I could see northern, I could see southern. So yeah, it's just one of those generic rounds. I actually quite like where I clicked. And yeah, ends up being correct. I saw one of those, the stickers on the poles definitely remind me of the types you get around there. It's a meta I don't really understand too well, but definitely ring a bell. And okay, next one here. Czechoslovakia maybe? Could certainly be. We got an antenna, good to know. Language, Language. Don't really see anything. Could it still be Polish? Yes, could still be Polish, yeah. Might go southern Poland, actually, although... Yeah, it is a holy Pole. Okay, I'm going to go central Poland there. Hope for the best here. I feel like this is actually a harder round if you move around, like, because I was able to sit there, take in the kind of clues, eventually work out that it was a holy pole. But actually, our opponent may have found a sign because it's a really nice southern guess there. Maybe it makes sense because I did think it was Czechoslovak at the start. And we move on to 2.5 times damage, so anyone can win now. And we have Czechoslovak Poles. Would say this is Slovakia. Yeah, this is Slovakia. I mean, Czechia. Why am I saying Slovakia? I don't know. But yeah, I would say like these dinner bollards, more common in Czechia, and then it is right on the border. So our opponent's Slovakian guess is closer. A little bit annoying. But yeah, good guess. And we move on to triple damage. Yeah, okay, and then we had Generation 4 without the antenna. Okay, this is probably like Albania? Yeah, we got Albanian plates. I'm going straight in just in case, because our opponent is relatively low rated, might not realize it. But if Eric just looks at this plate, he should get it. And even if he gets it wrong, well, surely he looks at the language here, he looks at this plate and he gets it. If he misses the plate, then it's hard. So I hope he does. He does miss the plate, goes in France. Actually, does kind of look like a French plate. Makes sense. And we finish him off. Okay, so we actually had a flawless day, apart from the a little bit of a hiccup where I moved and a little bit of a hiccup where there was a glitch. I think that was a flawless day, no? So a really super result. Now we're down to the type of rounds where we only get 3 points for beating an 800 rated player. But we're at 155 in the world. Obviously next episode we should be trying to get as close to 100 as we can. Moving on the friends list here, at that rating, we're actually into the top 10 on my friends list, and I have a lot of people added. And yeah, global, I mean, these guys still sitting 1,500. It's a way to go. But wait, we got to think about that later on. We're going to be grinding. The way I won I said this might be a hard episode, and I won every single round, so have to be feeling good about that. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching to the end. Give the video a like, subscribe if you are still watching at this point in the video and you're not subscribed. You got to stay tuned, see if I can get to a number 1, don't you? Anyway, I'll see you guys in a video very soon. Till next time, and goodbye.